James here. It is August 21st, 2016. I want to show you guys something that may mark a new beginning in television news journalism. A woman named Joy Reid, who is a new shining star at MSNBC, gives it to him. She does not let fools like this spout off bullshit without interrupting, asking for examples, getting to his causality, which usually doesn't exist when you're talking to conservatives. So I want to show you about a minute and a half of a video clip from this morning, this Sunday, as a wonderful example of Joy Reid on MSNBC behaving with smarts. She knows the facts. She doesn't let morons like this come on television in short sound bits, say misleading and inappropriate and even completely wrong. They project. Look it up. Anyway, there's something I have to do first. Let me see here. Okay. And then we'll roll the video, and I'll show you a couple of minutes of a great example of what may be a new beginning in television news journalism. Okay, hold on a second. This is a little tricky because I'm holding the camera by hand. See here. There. I got a sore leg, so this is tough. Okay. There you go. Yeah. Oh, baby. Perfect. Okay, let's. I'm fast, so okay. Here we go. Watch this example. I'll try to hold the camera steady.
Morally, it also cost us electorally, so it was also dumb politics. But I will say this, I think trying to ascribe the Southern strategy of days gone by to the President Trump campaign, I think is just completely misconstrued. When he talks about law and order, for instance, no one suffers more presently from the lack of law and order than minorities do. I'm from Chicago. The west side of Chicago has become practically a war zone. Those aren't white lawyers dying there. Those are young black men primarily. So I think his outreach is genuine. I don't think he's playing identity politics in any way. He's saying there is a better way forward. I want to earn your votes, people of color.
You just mentioned Chicago, and I want to play Donald Trump actually talking about Chicago, and then we'll come back and chat on the other side.
In our nation's capitals,
wait a second. I have to do this again.
have risen by 50%.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Oh, baby.
They're up nearly 60% in nearby Baltimore. In the president's hometown of Chicago, more than 2,000 people have been the victim of shootings this year alone, and almost 4,000 have been killed in the Chicago area since he took office.
Now, those kinds of statements, that was his convention speech.
Here we go.
But he makes those kinds of statements typically in front of all white audiences. Meanwhile, on his Twitter page, Donald Trump has this habit of retweeting white nationalists with things like this. Trump tweet from November with erroneous crime stats claiming that blacks killed by whites is 2% and whites killed by blacks is 81% of whites who are killed by African Americans. He's retweeted those several times. Meanwhile, Breitbart.com, which is the outfit that it was run by Steve Bannon, who's now running the Trump campaign, it has an entire section called Black Crime. The alt-right that is attracted to the Trump campaign is not out there trying to defend African-American old ladies who were in neighborhoods beridden by crime. They're out there demonizing African-Americans essentially as criminals. So I don't really see how you can say, Steve, that this is not directed at African-Americans, at demonizing them.
Look, is there a segment of his support that is racist?
He retweeted that. I'm saying he retweeted the white.
Just as there is a segment on the Democratic side that is
Which segment would that be? Which segment is that?
In the opposite way.
Can you describe an example of that?
There are clearly some black nationalists.
Can you give me an example? Oh, you're saying black people you say are racist. Do you know of a Democrat or a liberal who has retweeted white nationalists? The tweet I showed you that Donald Trump retweeted was retweeted from a white nationalist Twitter user. Do you know of anyone on the left who's done that?
I haven't seen that tweet, but when you say
he did, that's his face at the top of that tweet.
When you say that he's speaking primarily to white audiences,
Yes.
I will concede that. Right now, yes, right now, he has not yet earned the support of many people of color. But I believe he's going to, and I think he's going to because he's speaking directly to their concerns. They have been very loyal Democratic voters, but they have not been rewarded for those votes with policies that allow them to succeed, that let them participate in the American dream, let them attend schools that are quality, allow their children to live a better way of life. A third of
Are you
minority
saying that you
children live in poverty.
don't believe that African Americans are attending college or owning homes? Are you essentially implying, as Donald Trump has, that all the African Americans are impoverished and crime-ridden?
Of course not all. Of course not. But far too many. Far too many.
Let me get a couple other folks in here, Reid. You just heard Steve's presentation. Your thoughts?
Enough. Donald Trump's presence is destroying the symbolism of these colors. He's made democracy more unstable. The next election is going to be even more frightening. Laws are going to be created that we don't like to attempt to avoid another Donald Trump incident in United States politics. But Joy Reid gets my vote. MSNBC, put her on more frequently. And if she gets exhausted, create Joy Reid androids and just have them on 24/7. She's aggressive. She doesn't take any shit from assholes who tell lies. She interrupts. Donald Trump should have been interrupted 50,000 times by news journalists in the audience so that he was completely unable to answer questions and couldn't do any speaking because freedom of the press was trying to get their answer. But he's a moron. James out. This is running too long. I could go on forever with this.